Derek Dougan, the man in trouble, the man sent off last week. Today, in the big match, Derek Dougan talks about discipline in football. But first, it's the present-day Spurs as we go back to White Hart Lane yesterday. Spurs against Wolves, and for Spurs, it presented the chance to avenge an earlier defeat in the League Cup. Their team is a surprise one. Roger Morgan is asked to be dropped because his confidence has gone. Jimmy Pearce is the substitute, and there's another chance for Dennis Bond at 10, while at 11, Steve Perryman, a 17-year-old, keeps his place. He'll face a tough game against a competent Wolves side, made stronger by the arrival of number 8, Mike O'Grady, from Leeds. Now, while we wait for referee Vernon Batty of Cheshire, I should just say that as we had slight technical trouble at the very start of the afternoon, the opening moments of this game come from our camera behind the goal. So Spurs kick off in the white, defending the goal to our right. Wolves, and of course their old gold with black shorts. Both sides struggling to find a bit of form. Mullery for Spurs, and just over! A very positive break indeed by Alan Mullery in the opening seconds. Bailey to Bernard Shaw. And now Wagstaff. Again, this long one looking for Dugan, and Dugan getting in. And Dugan indeed not very happy to have been pulled up for that one. Very significant indeed how he got above Mike England, though. Some 10 yards or so outside the Spurs penalty area. McCalliog and Wagstaff, and Greaves lining it up. McCalliog going over it. Wagstaff out to O'Grady, couldn't quite control it. Curran over his head and punched away from under that bar by Jennings. Good piece of play by Curran here. Munro. A good switch there towards Wagstaff. What a good ball that was from Munro. And now McCalliog at the near post, and it's almost there. Mistake by Jennings, and finally pumped over by Collins. Not too much support for Greaves. Gilzine. 7 Wolves defenders now back. Gilzine to Greaves. Chivers. Perryman. A 1-2 there to Chivers. Bond. And a good save from Dennis Bond. Dugan again to Curran, to Bailey, and now to Wagstaff. Shaw going up on the outside, and Curran going in. A goal! Hugh Curran from Wagstaff's cross. Hugh Curran's 10th goal of the season with 10 minutes to go to half-time. Stealing in on the blind side of this Spurs defence to put Wolves ahead. But even he's not the biggest man in the side, because his goalkeeper is 6'3", Phil Parks. But now it's Mullery. Bond jinking his way past Wilson. Bond with a shot. Did well there, Bond. And so it's Dennis Bond with the corner for Spurs. Chivers, and a good header just wide by Collins, who really specialises in coming in with thundering headers like that from corners. Scored a couple of times already this season for Tottenham. Want. Gilzine. Chivers. Gilzine again. Floating it in towards Bond, trying his shot against the bar. Bad luck by Bond. And now Collins. Bailey. Bond. Switching it to Knowles. Greaves going for this one, turning well. Greaves. Superb control by Jimmy Greaves.
done so very quickly, with that ball always under control, with defenders skidding in the opposite direction, trying to pull up as quickly as they can. Just 20 minutes to go. Knowles. Greaves waiting for this one, and it's come through to Greaves. Almost there, and no one quite to push it home. Both Gilzean and Chivers. Mallory. Perriman over on the left. And Spurs with something like 5 minutes left now to get this equaliser. Perriman. Greaves. Chivers. Collins well up again. Again, not judging that header very well. Pushed in the back very badly. Spurs, I think, hopefully expecting a penalty, and certainly Mallory has gone to remonstrate with referee Batty. But he's given an indirect free kick. That's what the arm aloft means, an indirect free kick to Spurs inside that penalty area. Bond is going to take it. Only two men in the wall, of course, from an angle as narrow as this one. Bond to float it. England steaming in. Now Perriman. Perriman. Oh, and that seemed to swerve as well, because Parks grabbed that one at the last moment. Dugan. Of course, it always means that players with the skill of Dugan and the pace of Wagstaff can strike back very quickly, but here's a chance perhaps for Greaves. Turning on it, and a great save by Parks. That was Greaves almost making the equaliser out of a nothing situation.
So Spurs are beaten again, and I'm sure thousands of their fans left White Hart Lane pretty disillusioned with Spurs' performance yesterday, but I just wish that they had been with me in a darkened and a deserted Spurs car park late into the evening with manager Bill Nicholson, when he emphasised again and again his great determination to put this club back on its feet firmly in a playing sense. Today I'm sure he spent checking on players who might be available to him, because I know that Bill Nicholson realises that he must have new blood at White Hart Lane. Indeed, I mean, England's job was to look after Dugan, obviously, and Collins was looking after Curran, and it was Curran, of course, who scored the all-important goal for Wolves.
Yes, it was, and I think, I mean, to be fair to Collins, he played with a bad gash in his head, and there was blood all over his shirt the whole of the game. But in this particular moment, as this Wolves move develops, it's a very good move. Bailey sticks it out first time to Wagstaff, bit of running from the full-back round the outside there, and Wagstaff hits a perfect crossover. The dummy up the line there, he ignores it, crosses over. Now you just watch the Spurs defence here. There's Collins, who's turned. He's falling over. Curran has come in. He slipped in between Knowles and Collins, and neither Collins nor England is in a position to jump and head that ball away. And Curran is such a marvellous header of the ball. He makes no mistake from then on. Absolutely beautiful header.
And indeed, Curran, we learn in the last hour or so, in fact at 2 o'clock, was included in the Scottish 22 for this World Cup game against Germany, the all-important one in Hamburg in about 10 days' time. So Curran obviously very much a man in form. And talking of running power, of course, this was something that Wolves had plenty of yesterday.
Absolutely. It was the main ingredient to their game. They all worked for each other right through the game. And even a defender, Bernard Shaw, played a wonderful part in creating this terrific goal. He overlapped an unselfish run. Curran gets a touch at it there. Now watch as he comes steaming up on the outside of Wagstaff here. And as he comes running up, you'll notice he indicates to Wagstaff, don't give it to me, cross it. And that resulted in that beautiful headed goal. The one thing that Spurs needed yesterday and will need every week to the end of the season.
So Jimmy Hill then, putting his finger on the troubles at Tottenham. And talking of troubles, a man who's got plenty of them these days, of course, is Derek Dougan, the man who was sent off in the game against Everton at Molineux last weekend. The activity of the FA Disciplinary Committee this week, where 2 players were suspended for 8 weeks, obviously must have Derek Dougan worried. After yesterday's game at White Hart Lane, Jimmy Hill spoke to Dougan and asked him what his feelings were about the state of discipline in the game today.
No, I think, you know, I've been caught up with this, Jimmy. I think that there's no lot of pressures in the game, and I can understand that the referees, are getting blamed, and I'm getting blamed, and players are getting blamed. I find that I've been unfortunate, but I think that all
Couldn't you
players...
stop it? I mean, you've got one player who's gone out of the game because he wouldn't swear, and you may go out for a period anyway because you did swear.
Well, it's like this. If you're driving down the street and you're on the main road and somebody drives out of the side road and you brake rather quickly, I mean, you can say something in the heat of the moment you don't really mean. You don't mean it personally. And I find that I possibly was caught up into this. I mean, we were 2-1 down at the time. We were pressing hard. We were out of the game in the first half. We came back into the second half, and I thought that we were caught up with this pressure, and I felt that I was challenging Colin Harvey, and unfortunately, I mean, everyone says that this is irresponsible behaviour. I don't think this is, but I think that it was just that I wanted to get the ball, and unfortunately, the linesman gave a decision I thought was against me and was unfair, and I said something that this is.
But you're a senior. You've been playing the game a long time now.
Yes.
You realise that not referees are after you, but you realise you have something of a reputation. Not the only one in the game.
Yes.
Now, don't you have to be doubly careful and make sure that you bite your tongue or you turn and swear at somebody else and not the linesman or the referee?
Well, at the start of the season, my tongue was about 10 inches long. Now it's only 3 inches long, so I'm biting it enough. No, seriously, I find that the most experienced players today are getting caught up in this, and they're getting their names taken. And I feel, Jimmy, that this is something that you just can't talk about it, and it'll correct itself overnight. This is something that possibly, I mean, the players may be wrong, the referees may be wrong, the administrators may be wrong, the people who lay down the legislation may be wrong. And it's very, very difficult, and I really can't see the answer. Myself, and I played in that game yesterday, and I find that I try to keep my temper yesterday.
Is it affecting your game? I mean, this is the point.
It did affect me yesterday because there was at least, I think that I played yesterday, and I can't remember a foul being given against me yesterday. I tried to keep my composure yesterday, and I took 1 or 2 bumps yesterday. I'm not trying to cry now, but I think that strikers, and I feel I'm an upfield player, that you've got to pay for this penalty that you bear on your shoulder being an upfield player. It doesn't deter me, really. I'll play the game.
If you had charge of the whole of football now, there's a problem, what would you do about it?
Well, I quite honestly, I deeply sympathise with referees. I think that...
What would you do?
I think, quite honestly, and I mean this sincerely, I think that referees are, the pressure that's on them, they're grossly underpaid, because I feel that, I don't think that you could make them full-time professionals. I think you've got to start into a level to give them more fees anyway, and
would
a bigger fee.
Would you give players longer sentences? Do you think that'll do it?
No, I don't believe this is so. I don't think this is a deterrent at all. I can honestly feel that this will have no effect on the game whatsoever. I mean, there's lots I could say about this at the moment, but I feel that I'd best say nothing at the moment.
Now it's time for some more action. My favourite little old left back here to tell us which match it is we're doing now.
Leeds against Everton. Wolves against Everton.
You're all right then? Stafford, what is it again?
Wolves against Everton.
And he's right. Wolves against Everton it is, and it's from Molyneux. The pictures come from ATV. The commentator is Hugh Johns.
Wolves needing to improve on a home record, which wasn't too bright in the last 2 games. Remember, they beat Blackpool 1-0 on an own goal, and previous to that they were beaten 3-2 by Leeds, after being doing very well earlier in the season. Here's Alan Ball. And Alan Ball right under the eyes of the referee. A little flare up then from Alan Ball on John McCall, and the referee John Hunting reaching into his pocket for his book. And Alan Whittle is the fellow in there arguing. Not the cleverest of things to do. Alan Ball, Whittle over on the other side. Well, it looks very much as though Alan Ball has gone into the book. Harvey, late in, Park in the long one. Tommy Wright striking that ball fairly firmly then for Rankin. Whittle. into no man's land, and not even the big Joe Royle can cover all that much territory. Gould and Hurst going together, and Hurst winning awfully well in the air on these high balls. Well done, Wagstaff. Gould, Dugan up with him. There's Dugan. Derek Dougan smashed it right through the hands of Rankin. A fabulous old-fashioned break by Wolverhampton Wanderers, right in the old style. Wagstaff, Gould and Dugan on the end of it. Wolverhampton ball. Leave it, leave it, leave it, says McCalliog. Waiting for John McCall to come in. McCall only about 30 games in this Wolves side, and a Liverpool lad himself, so I expect he'll get some pleasure out of beating Everton. Dugan and Hurst having a fair old tussle together. Whittle back for Kendall. McCall again. Very nearly caught on the hop by Joe Royle's challenge. There's Royle dancing in again. McCall. Gould aiming it back for Wagstaff. The return ball a little ambitious. Oh, what a fine ball from Hurst to Morrissey. Colin Harvey picking up Morrissey again. And Harvey there to give support. One row away. Whoops, and Hibbett very nearly falling over into the crowd. Morrissey, Whittle under this with Parkin. Here's Gould again, the Wolves breaking out, fast and furious. Bobby Gould bringing the bone across, and he's past him. Rankin is on the near post, Dugan on the far post. There's Dugan! There's nothing wrong with that one. There's the 1-2 partnership again. Number 9, number 10, that's the first goal. That's the way the first goal was scored, that's the way the second goal was scored.
Well, that's it from the big match today, a rather different one than usual. I hope very much that you've enjoyed it, and I hope we've brought just a little bit of happiness too for all the boys and girls in the Whittington Hospital here in North London. Now, thanks too, of course, to the hospital staff who really have made us so welcome this afternoon.
Charlie George, who can hit him. Oh, a great goal! Charlie George!
Time now for some more action, and for this we go to the big clash in the Midlands between Wolves, who are unbeaten at home, and Derby County riding high towards the top of the First Division. At Molyneux were the ATV cameras, the commentator Hugh Johns, and Derby County in white.
Foul call against Parkin and O'Hare squaring up to each other. So Hinton has the free kick. Hinton, Webster, number 2. And all this time, the referee is having a pretty stern word with Parkin. Now the free kick can be taken. Hinton, got to be a goalkeeper's ball. O'Hare scores, and the tragedy is against John McCall. John O'Hare scores 1-0 for Derby. 22 minutes gone. Park's a very angry man. The tragedy then, John McCall getting his head to a ball which should have been a goalkeeper's ball all the way from the free kick, and O'Hare the easiest chance in the world to score. Young McGovern. O'Hare trying to turn against Parkin and wins a corner kick off him.
Parkin teased into a position that he didn't like then. Delay will be for Hinton to come across. It's the area that Hinton will be aiming this corner kick at. Hector on the near post. Hinton and Webster, number 2, working on the corner flag. Parkin away as far as Wagstaff, and Webster to put it back. McFarland! And why didn't Hector just put his knee on that ball? McFarland nodding across a completely empty net, and Kevin Hector, it looked from here as though he only had to put his knee in there, and it had to be a second goal. 30 minutes of this first half gone. And that could easily have been Derby 2-0, but it's 1-0, Hinton the corner now. Munro away. Webster. Back for Todd's, a bit short for him. O'Hare is in there. Hennessy, Hector on. Munro stops it. Wagstaff, faced by Webster. Good, great ball. Hibbett. Did that well. Oh, didn't he do that well? Kenny Hibbett then. O'Hare brought that down well. Munro. Dugan on the challenge. Richards just couldn't. Ball just wouldn't bubble for him. Bailey, a good ball for Shaw. Calliog, Hibbett, Richards, back for Shaw. Shaw again. Real flurry of Wolves pressure this. Mike Bailey to aim. Mike Bailey. Hinton. John O'Hare. Todd now. Not quite the ball he intended. Dugan. Ghosting away from 2 fairly hearty pieces of tackling then. Second one producing the free kick. Shaw to take it. Now the first one produced the free kick. It's McFarland's. Shaw now with this free kick for Wolves. Time ticking away from them towards half-time. Goalkeeper's come and lost it. And there is number 9, John Richards. It's a level score at 1-1. John Richards really banged the equaliser in. Only the second goal he's ever scored in league football. The goal made by Dugan's jump when Shaw's kick came over. Bolton came, missed the ball, and Richards hammers it in.
The winner came in the second half.
But, oh, that's a gift to Wagstaff. Good chip ball, and Dugan was going, but he was offside anyway. Flag down to my right. Poised up. Richards breaking. A little ambitious, the lad there. Boom. Good honest running then by Robson. O'Hare. Robson still going on his left. And finally, Munro gives the corner away, and you see the number 3, Robson, still down there. Number 5, Munro gave the corner, but Robson going away to the corner kick area. Made that ball his own on the halfway line by sheer dogged determination and real guts. Hinton then. Shaw away, as far as Robson. McGovern trying one. Johnny McGovern, who, as we've seen in the past, can hammer the ball. Just wide of the post. McFarlane together, and McFarlane just about won that one. Terry Hennessy doing a fair job as a sort of advanced sweeper, sweeping in front of 4. Carl being put under a certain amount of difficulty by the challenge of John O'Hare. Richards getting a touch forward. Dugan on the jump. Pivot forward, and Todd reading it perfectly. What a valuable player this chap is. Hector winning. O'Hare. Barkin tackling back. Wolves ball. Well, there's only 15 minutes of this game left for either side to break the deadlock. Demel forward. Parkin to intercept. Calling Wagstaff to him. Parkin now using Munro. Might try one. Hibbett. Dugan! And finally Richards. Richards gets the goal. So young John Richards, who started this game with only 1 league goal in the whole of his career, has doubled his total in this one match. 2-1 then to Wolves. But the determination of Dugan on the ground, Hibbett joining in, and Richards getting on the end of that kerfuffle on the goalmouth area. McGovern an easy interception. Wagstaff on the challenge and wins it back again. Good determined running by Wagstaff. Neat ball then for McCalliog. Wagstaff's gone for the return. Did that well. Hibbett. What a great one. Hibbett for the 3rd time in this match, so desperately close to getting himself a goal.
And that 2-1 victory keeps Wolves' unbeaten record at home intact. Well, our next match today is also our bonus match, the one that we keep up our sleeves until Sunday, and it's Wolves against Manchester United. Wolves so hard to overcome at home. Manchester United looking for their first victory of the season in the league, home or away. The pictures come from ATV. The commentator is Hugh Johns. Wolves are in the lighter shirts.
Bailey. Dugan. Callio. On again for Hibbett. Must come for Wagstaff. A roar from the crowd. Hibbett for the shot. Good one too. Hibbett really can blast him. Unmistakable figure of Bobby Charlton. Dunn. It's a good try. Tony Dunn, scorer of only 2 goals in a career of 400 odd. Or just about 400 league games. And very nearly scored his 3rd then. Flick on by Richards, picking up McCalliog. That's Dugan through the middle. Oh, he did that so perfectly. Dugan hardly broke sweat then as he went in to put Wolves in front, 1-0. Beautiful piece of work. McCallion setting it up for Dugan. Stepney came well. 25 minutes into the first half, Dugan makes it 1-0. It'll be Hibbert who will take this one. Again, they'll be waiting a bit for Munro to come up into the box. Munro and Dugan. 10 is Dugan and 5 Munro. There's Munro. And Dugan couldn't get there. James did. McCallion, an awkward one. Good punch then by Stepney. What a difficult ball that was from McCallion. Wagstaff then with the corner. Way across, and that's Hibbert. Well, Stepney's certainly earning his corn in that United goal mouth at the moment. Mike Bailey winding himself up as though he's going for the long one. Ball thrown over the goal line. Goal kick. Stepney certainly played a hero's part in this United defence. Quite certain the score would be very much more than 1-0 against Manchester United, but for his sterling efforts. Kidd getting it down. Pushed back to the way he didn't want to play. Dugan for Wagstaff. Dugan neatly done. That's Taylor. Not a very good cross ball. Jerry Taylor allowing himself the liberty of going forward into attack that occasion. Steve James then picking up Charlton. Charlton hitting it long as McElroy goes to the right side. Best is unmarked in the middle at the moment. Again, good saving. Bit of football by Jerry Taylor. Well, it's really quite incredible to see players of such high skills passing so badly. Another chance for Charlton now. And again, he picks out a Wolves man. Nothing going right for Bobby. Offside flag has certainly got to have Richards offside, and he didn't. And he's still not offside. Well, that is a goal I'm sure that Richards will be delighted about. 2-0 it is to Wolves. But I am quite convinced in my own mind that as that break developed, Richards was in an offside position, and he looked very much like being offside again when the pass came across from Dugan. But he did his job perfectly at the end of it.
So 2-0 then to the Wolves.
In the studio this week, Malcolm Allison, who'll give his views on some of the action you're about to see. But first of all, today we go off to White Hart Lane. It's a grey November afternoon in North London, and with the power emergency forcing the games to an early start, it's obvious that this match will finish in doubtful light. The crowd, a poor one by Tottenham, stands
There's only 23,000. But now they've all got eyes only for the tunnel and the arrival of the teams. Martin Peters, once again leading out a Spurs side that has had some notable recent cup successes against Wolves in the final of the UEFA Cup and the semi-final of the League Cup in successive seasons, both trophies won by Spurs. They, like Wolves, though, have had a disappointing start to the season, and Wolves are very low on confidence, and indeed, from all their away games so far this season, they have just 1 point to show for them. We also have two England strikers on the field who've been under pressure. There's Martin Chivers of Spurs, still trying to live down that disappointing performance against Poland, but now coming back to form in a Spurs side that has Alan Gilzean returning at number 7. Wolves field their expected side with Alan Sunderland, the substitute.
Perryman to Knowles. Peters, left nicely for Knowles. Played there towards Pratt. Peters picking it up again. Pratt now to Peters, and that was handball, and if it was, it looked very much like it's in the penalty area, and it's a penalty for Tottenham. A handball by Palmer. The referee looked hard at the linesman, and the linesman said it was a handball, and it's a penalty to Tottenham Hotspur. So now a chance for Spurs to break a deadlock that's been there for 15 minutes only. But certainly Phil Parkes has a job on his hand. It'll be Martin Chivers who's going to take it. He has scored in the last 2 goals. There's Chivers from behind Parkes' goal. And he scored. 1-0 to Tottenham. So Chivers makes it 3 goals in a row and puts Spurs 1-0 ahead with 15 minutes gone from the penalty spot. It also puts Martin Chivers into double figures for the season, 10 goals now. Now it's Coates for Tottenham. Evans has made a streaking run down the right for him. Coates turning it in there, and a header, and a fine save there from Peters by Phil Parkes. And now Pratt. Chivers playing it off again for John Pratt. Tried to get it through to Martin Peters, but Spurs, or rather Wolves, now taking it up with Barry Powell. And again Chivers coming back tremendously fast, but still with Powell, and a goal! And a very, very good goal indeed. In spite of Chivers coming roaring back, Powell had the better of him. And with that left foot shot, wide of Pat Jennings. So Dugan being watched again by Mike England. And he needs to be, because it's falling towards Dugan, and he's hit the crossbar. Well, Derek Dougan outsmarted Mike England there from that long free kick, just bounced off his head and onto the crossbar. And behind for a corner now, to Wolves. So here's the Wolves corner, curling in once more. Dugan again with a header, hit back across that 6-yard area, and Knowles with time to weigh it up, but then to plant it straight into touch. So poor old Derek Dougan did so well to climb above Mike England. Perryman losing it out as Wolves now have got a bit of an appetite for this game. There's a great shot, and here's a chance coming in again. And no, it won't be for Dugan, it may be for Hibbett. And down goes Jennings again at the second attempt. And Wolves are really snarling at Tottenham now. But now they face another long Chivers throw, flighted into that Wolves penalty area. Again, Gilzean and Peters are there towards the near post. It's Gilzean with a little touch. Played back for Cyril Knowles. Measuring up that cross again towards John Pratt, who was right in there, and Pratt just over. He's got a good record of goals against Wolves, and of course the most spectacular one of all was in a League Cup semi-final a year or so ago at Molineux. John Pratt, just too high with that header though. Wextar placing the ball where he wants it. As long as it's inside that person, that's all right. Monroe. Played wide for Wagstaff. try to turn that inside for Hibbett, but Hibbett wasn't aware, and Spurs can bring it away now with Martin Peters. No, they can't. Hibbett now, and now Wagstaff again. Hit low and hard. Very often difficult to judge those, but Beale judged that one well. And now it's the turn of Jennings, although Richards crept in between Beale and Jennings on that occasion. And Dugan again is at the far post, and it took Gilzine to come right back there. Bailey to Palmer. Hit first time, a screeching shot, and a magnificent goal by Jeff Palmer. Spurs looked bemused, but the goal was a beauty. Played there short for Palmer, and Palmer caught that beautifully in his stride, right-footed, off the post, and just inside on the far side. Dugan to Richards. And a shot there, and a goal! That time it's scored by Hibbett, and that puts Wolves 3-1 ahead. There's the ball that Pat Jennings must retrieve, and it was put there with this shot by Kenny Hibbett. To Knowles, and now for Mike England. Well, Dugan won it in the end. Hibbett, what a good ball there now for John Richards. Can this be number 4 as Powell comes in, and Jennings, in fact, it caught his knee as Wolves went sweeping so dangerously once more into that Tottenham penalty area. Free kick to Tottenham. Knowles. He stubbed his toe on that one. Never at his very best on his right foot, Cyril Knowles. Perryman. Wanting Chivers to come towards him, and Chivers obeys the request. And Perryman beautifully finds Cyril Knowles. Played inside again for Martin Chivers. Now onto the left foot and just over. That was a good build-up by Spurs, engineered in the first place by Stevie Perryman. And very nearly finished off decisively by the number 9, Martin Chivers. Perryman certainly started it well, though, and calling for more effort from Spurs. So a throw to Wolves. Towards Dugan, but Dugan beaten in the air by England. McGrath. Ball to Wagstaff. Oh, lovely old-fashioned winger skills there by David Wagstaff. And will it come to Hibbett? It will. And a shot beautifully saved there by Pat Jennings from Kenny Hibbett. Wolves really have called everybody back now, with the exception really of Dugan and Richards. Peters, beautiful play there by Martin Peters. Crossed in again, and Munro getting it away to Hibbett. No, in fact, Evans comes in there. So now it's Chivers again. Back once more for Evans, a screeching drive! And again, Evans with that long-range drive from all of 35 yards with tremendous power. There's no doubt about it that Phil Parkes would have had trouble picking that one up in this gathering gloom now.
And our apologies for the poor quality of the pictures there. In fact, we believe that raises a point about kick-off times in general. For the next couple of months or so, the afternoons, if anything, are going to get fractionally darker, as we all know. And we believe there's now a strong case for all kick-offs being switched to 2 o'clock, and revolutionary though it may sound, perhaps even 1:45. After all, it only needs a serious injury to hold up play for 5 minutes or so, and the game would then finish in almost total darkness. Clubs, I believe, have got to think of their players. It must have been extremely difficult in the closing stages everywhere yesterday, and particularly for goalkeepers. But above all, for the paying customer. It was hard for him, certainly, to pick out players and moves in the later stages of the game. And I hardly think you'd go to a theatre where the last act was played out in semi-darkness. So let's think hard about those kick-off times. Is it something, Malcolm Allison, that has moved you to think about your kick-off times at Paris?
Yes, watching the game yesterday, the last 10 minutes, I wondered when the referee was going to blow the whistle, because it was so bad. And I'm going to have a word with the chairman, and I think that Crystal Palace will kick off at 1:45.
1:45?
Yeah. Well, I don't think the times affect the crowds at all. I mean, the 2:15 does not seem to affect the crowds. And I think Saturdays, most people have off anyway.
Mm. Let's go on to the game at Tottenham yesterday, Malcolm. They got a penalty, Spurs, in the first 15 minutes. Wolves didn't seem to argue too much about it. They must have accepted that it was a handball, as we'll see the right-hand player On the picture here is the Wolves player.
Yeah, I think Jeff Palmer panicked a bit here. He handled the ball, knocked it right down. It's an obvious penalty. And you see Parks on the line. You see him move fractionally before Martin Chivers hits it in the far corner of the net, but he has no chance.
No, he hit it with tremendous power, didn't he?
Yeah. No chance at all.
I thought at that point that Wolves might be on the way out. Their confidence so low and having a penalty against them early on, but they came back.
I bet Bill McGarry must have been cursing, you know, with a penalty like that against him. But they did come back extremely well, and their finishing was excellent yesterday.
They were really on the target, something that Brian Clough's been on about before on this programme.
You see here Martin Chivers chasing back, working very hard yesterday. You see young Barry Powell there, turns the ball inside, and he beats Beale here, does extremely well, looks up, sees the target, and you see him hit it in the far corner. Jennings coming out, but he can't get to the ball. It's right in the corner of the net.
Is that good goalkeeping by Jennings coming out?
Excellent goalkeeping, yes. You see him, he's right outside the 6-yard box. He couldn't have been in a better position. This is the second goal, and this is the fullback who gave away the
penalty, yeah.
The penalty, young Palmer. He hits a tremendous shot. And again, Jennings attacks the ball, but that one hits the inside of the post, and no way can he stop that.
No. Interesting point here, the way that Hibbett points to John Richards where he wants the ball played. There.
Good control by Richards there, excellent control, nice turn, and he lays it nice, very, very neat ball in his path. And here he comes, Hibbett. He strikes it beautifully to the outside of his left foot, and again Jennings attacking the ball, edge of the 6-yard box, but cannot stop that, right in the far corner of the net.
As I say, it wasn't a bad afternoon there, but to me it was spoiled to a great extent by the way that the Spurs crowd were on the back of John Pratt almost from the word go. Now, John Pratt didn't have the best of games. In fact, he was substituted in the second half. But it was when he was substituted that the Spurs fans, I thought, showed their worst side and really an undisguised joy that the fellow was being taken off. There's young Chris McGrath, who is coming on in place of John Pratt. Now, just listen to the crowd when they see that it's the number 4 Pratt who is going off.
Oh. Well, the crowd are cheering,
he goes.
and Pratt waved to them a moment ago.
There goes John Pratt. He can't get into the dressing room quick enough. You know, he's terribly disillusioned, terribly disappointed. Normally he would go to the bench and talk to the trainer, but he just wants to get away from that crowd, and the only thing that can do is really affect his confidence.
I felt sorry for him because he is a competitor.
Yeah, he's always in the fray, and he's a good type of club player. He's a good club player. He doesn't hide when things are not going well for him, and this is probably why the public notice him more than anybody else.
It's Wolves against the challengers Ipswich Town. It was played at Molineux. It was covered by ATV. The commentator is Hugh Johns. And Wolves here, of course, are in the lighter shirts with black shorts.
Sybil, the shortest goalkeeper in the First Division, 5'8", agile, acrobatic young goalkeeper. Cole was up well. Wymark trying it again. Woods then for Ipswich. Mills, Hamilton down the line. Oh, a beautiful dummy. Sold McCall completely. Not a bad looking cross, hit the post. It was bad judgment then by Parks. Stayed in the centre of his goals. And that ball struck the post and might easily have swerved in past Phil Parks. Powell stretching it long for Hibbett. Well read by Harper. Hibbett being chased by Harper, not a bad ball for Powell. Again, it was Beattie there. Wilgen and Beattie getting slightly messed up between them, and decides that that's a safe way of sorting the situation out. Hunter back for Beattie. Wymark, Lambert, Talbot feeding it on again. Palmer, a useful interception there. Hunter beating Richards. Farley for Parkin. What a bad one. Oh, and a break on for Hibbett. Have to hurry. Talbot's coming back to him. It's on for the shot. Left-footed. What a beautiful goal. Oh, what a smasher. Hibbett. 5 minutes into the first half. So one error by Ipswich. Hibbett breaking out for his 6th goal of the season. Only the 3rd game he scored in. Hibbett breaking in on goal on that one error by Ipswich, and hammers a beautiful left-footed drive past Loris Ivel. 1-0 Wolves. Jump by Wymark. Very hurried and rather untidy clearance by Alan Hunter. Sunderland caught in possession then by McMills. Powell, Parkin hoisting it high. Not much pressure on Beattie, didn't get it away though. Powell, Bailey, he's going to try it. Oh, Wolves have got the shooting bug now. Mike Bailey having a go there. Bailey, good ball down. Hibbett. Richards. Can do it again. Didn't really give Hibbett much chance. He did well. On for Richards. Well, that goal really has put a hungry look about this Wolves side. That's Hibbett looking as though he has some problems there with that right ankle. That was the challenge that he had, the ball that John Richards knocked home, which was a bit short. Now he's all right. Gore, Wymark, Hamilton, Lambert on the right. Hits Parkin, goes for the corner. Well, Wolves were a little bit disorganised the last time Lambert took a corner from the right side. Let's see if they sort themselves out this time. Viljoen in the box, Wymark, Beattie, Mills, practically all of them in there. It's Beattie trying to get there. Missed kick then by McCall. Parks comes, didn't get hold of it. Finally it was Farley, knocked it away. And there could be a break on for Wolves. It's Powell, as Ipswich had thrown everybody forward. Richards going through the middle. Has he timed it right? It's too long. That'll come for Farley just the same. And Beattie again puts it away. Kevin Beattie doing the work of 2-3 men on that raid out by Wolves then. Hibbett to take the corner. They've brought Munro up into the box. Fair bit of pushing and bundling going on. It's like Harper getting up rather slowly. Munro there. Lambert. forward with his throw-in for Lambert. Talbot, lots of time to lift it in. Good head out by McCall. Dugan. Looks useful. Wymark stopped. Woods. It's a goal. It's an equaliser. Clive Woods has got it. It looked very much as though the ball took a couple of deflections to get past Parks. But it's 1-1. 31 minutes gone. Mills. Hamilton. Woods. Woods faced by McCall. Hamilton, good one. Struck that so beautifully with the left peg. That was swerving alarmingly from the left foot of Brian Hamilton. Parks making a good save, in fact. A lot of pressure on him then. It's Lambert getting it over. Mills stretching it wide for Lambert. Again, it was McCall's head that gets it clear. Powell. They have delayed it too long. Parkin now, far side of the field. Hibbett is unmarked. Bailey tried to pick him up and badly mistimed his pass. Dugan for Woods. Yes, Woods gets the foul against Parkin. As Ipswich again throw a lot of bodies into the box, and Mills is on for a shot. It's a beauty. McMills looking for his first goal of the season, and he wasn't very far away with it. Brought a really first-class save from Phil Parks. Hibbett. Gets himself a corner. Noticeable that Hibbett is playing much further upfield in the second half, playing a very orthodox wing role. Wolves deciding that it's best to attack with two wingers against the Ipswich fullbacks to keep them penned back. There's the corner. It's a good one. And it's in there! What a fine goal! Munro! That went in like a rocket! Off Munro's head. 2-1 Wolves. Brett Munro's first league goal of the season, first goal of the season. And 2-1 to Wolves. So that corner floating over from Farley. And Munro bulleting the header into the net.
Well, we've certainly enjoyed some quality goals on the big match this afternoon. Well, we've got some more action for you now, and it's a brilliant game when Wolves meet Birmingham City at Molineux. Sit back and enjoy this great All-Midland derby, and this too has got a goal or two that'll get you talking. Neither side, in fact, has made a very good start to the season, but the atmosphere was right, captured by the ATV cameraman. The commentator is Hugh Johns. Wolves in the lighter shirts.
Kendall. Roberts. Looking for Wythe. Got in well against Munro, but Carr now for Wolves. Beautiful ball for Sunderland from Willie Carr. A chip wanted. Penalty, and it's given against Ray Martin. Ray Martin can only grouse that he did it outside the box, and he's about 2 steps wrong. That was a fabulous ball by Willie Carr out. Left Sunderland going down the middle with the Blues all over the place. Birmingham still complaining. Linesman on the far side is Mr. Harris of Swansea. But the confusion comes down. A beautiful ball out then by Willie Carr, left Sunderland completely on his own against the Sprague-Eagle Blues defence as he looked as though he was going to chip it. He wanted to take on the goalkeeper. Martin brings him down from behind. So Ken Hibbett, scorer of a penalty against Queen's Park Rangers here earlier this season, now to set Wolves up with 1-0. Oh, and he's covered in confusion. The look on Ken Hibbett's face. I wonder what his brother Terry is shouting at him. No, he's turned his head away. Can't bear to see brotherly agony. Oh dear, dear, dear. Parkin, Carr, Sunderland Park, Carr. Have a second stab at it. Bailey, McNabb. Short and simple. Sunderland for Carr to hit. Beautiful goal. Oh, what a cracker. That was so well worked. 6 minutes into the second half, and all this pressure pays off for Willie Carr. Willie Carr scoring his 2nd goal of the season, and he'll not strike many better than that one. Beautifully worked opening, 4 or 5 passes, the telling one coming in from McNabb, the header out and down by Sunderland. The Blues wide open as Carr struck it left-footed for a sweet little goal. McCall covering. Ken Hibbett. Parkin. A lot of space in front of him to attack. With coming back to get at him. Wagstaff. Aimed for Hibbett. Carr trying it. That was real good old-fashioned Wolves stuff. Point of attack switched from one side of the field to the other with one long, deep, penetrating ball from Wagstaff. Hibbett knocking it in with his head. Carr flicking the first timer just wide of the goal. Martin. McCall. Francis now. Leaving the ball for Hope? No, he wants to take it himself. And he's aiming for With. Hibbett. Far post. Hatton. And that's a beautiful drive by Francis. Bang on the target and a lovely reflex action save from Pearce. Trevor Francis can hardly believe his luck there, and he thought he'd got his first goal of the season. The ball nicked across from Hibbett, the header back from Hatton. Francis making ground, unmarked, driving bang on target. Pearce reacted well. Martin. Bobby Hope. Francis in behind Wolverhampton. It's a good cross. With and Hatton is there. Off the line. Kendall. Well, that was remarkable. And Wolves immediately strike back. Hibbett. Carr. Hibbett. Oh, and Richards. Should have had that one. Latchford made it a gift. McNabb, the pressure's still on for Birmingham, and they're all over the place. Wagstaff. Roberts gets it clear. Hope away. Francis being chased by Parkin. Parkin brought down from behind by Trevor Francis. A free kick given to Wolves. Well, really there was two glorious chances, one at each end of the park. Hatton's header knocked out from right under the bar when it seemed to have crossed the line. Straight down to the other end for Wolves. And Latchford dropping the ball. Richards unable to knock it back into the goal. So Parkin happy that his left leg is still in one piece. Frank Munro, his right knee still very, very heavily strapped. In fact, it's a heavier strapping on it now than he had in the first half. Gallagher half away to Francis. Martin. Bailey. Into the space for Richards. Willie Carr. That's a good run. What a goal! Willie Carr's second goal of the game. From nowhere. Absolutely from nowhere. Bob McNabb, John Richards, all applauding. John McCall in. Willie Carr, the hero then. 26 minutes into the second half. And really there was so little on. It was Willie Carr who has been striking his shots with his left foot. Loaded a terrific drive with the right. And poor old Dave Latchford was left stranded.
Well, that's Wolves' first win of the season, and they missed a penalty as well. There was an element of doubt, I think, that slow motion showed about it as to whether the challenge was inside or outside the box. But there was no doubt at all that there were also 3 Birmingham players encroaching when that kick was taken. Our next match today takes us into the second division. Wolves against Millwall. Wolves, a club with great traditions, trying to spring straight back to the first division. Millwall, fresh up from the third division and doing, in fact, a lot better than people forecast. Match covered by ATV, commentator at Molineux, Hugh Johns. Millwall in the white shorts.
Ray Evans. Summerall. Free kick given against Summerall. Parking across for Palmer. Kindon going down the right side. It'll go to Hibbett first and then Kindon. Donaldson knocking it out to Lee. It's ball for Kitchener. Munro, nice little nick down for McCall. Sunderland. And now Daly. This looks useful. Kindon. Millwall a bit stretched. Good drive. And it's going to go in there. It's going to be down, I think, to an own goal by Barry Kitchener. But that was a useful build-up. 4 minutes into the game. Wolves 1-0. So it was a beautiful attack by Wolves. Daly getting this ball out to Kindon. When Kindon knocks it low across the face of the goals, Goddard dropped it, and although Sunderland was in challenging, it looked very much to me as though Kitchener turned the ball into his own net. Brisley for Evans. And he wins a corner off Todd. Youngster from the northeast. Ray Evans to take the corner. Millwall's second of the game. The shot coming now from Walker. He drove that well. Oh, he really gave that one some stick. The corner from Evans, half cleared. Walker didn't waste any time. Hammered it with the left foot. Brought a superb save from Pearce. Hibbett. Patching. Hibbett now. Patching. Todd. Sunderland. 2-9. Millwall standing there watching him. 8 minutes. Millwall shattered by that. Absolutely static Millwall defence as the shot from Todd comes out. Nobody picked up Sunderland. It was so easy to knock the ball in. Kitchener didn't get there. Sunderland might with Donaldson. Hazel for Evans. Striking it long, aiming for Seasman. Seasman now. Summerhill. Lee, and the chance for Brisley. Yes! Terry Brisley, 2-1. That was a good, well-organised attack. Terry Brisley knocks in his 3rd goal of the season. 24 minutes gone. Quite a good ball going into the box. A good jump by Lee, knocks it down, and Brisley was unmarked. Tucks it away, far corner. That brings to life the travelling Lions supporters from Coldblow Lane. Parkin. Hibbett. Parkin. For Palmer. Daly started a run. Daly now. Good try, good goal! Yes, that was the real old-fashioned Wolves attacking style. 25 minutes, a minute after Brisley put Millwall back in the game, and that 2-goal gap opens up again. Real opportunist stuff. Daly set off on the run, got into space. When that long ball reached him, he didn't hesitate. Turns, whacks the left foot straight in the corner of the net.
And in fact, it finished 3-1 to Wolves. They hop now into 2nd place in the table behind Chelsea, 4 points behind Chelsea.
Oh, and Pearson put through by Greenhoff. Jones is after it. Pearson shot, goal!
Let's have some more action now, and for that we go to our 2nd game, which brings Everton's Championship challenge into focus. Earlier this season they looked such a formidable side, but recently their form has been a bit patchy to say the least. And last Wednesday they crashed out of the League Cup by 4-1 at Leeds. They badly needed a win yesterday when they visited Wolverhampton Wanderers at a snowy Molineux. It was a game that was covered by ATV, the commentators Hugh Johns. Everton here are in the white shorts.
So a corner for Steve Daly to take. Patching! What a remarkable shot that turned out to be. A corner curling in from Daly's left boot, and Patching seemed to take a tremendous whack at it, but put an awful lot of underspin on the ball. It was up in the air and hanging there, and Wood only just managed to sweep it from under the bar. Latchford getting it back, but he'll lose that to Bell. McCall, Hibbett, Daly. Nice ball, Hibbett! Yes! Ken Hibbett! 1-0. 28 minutes of the first half. Really was something. Real old-fashioned Wolves stuff, that. From defence to driving attack in one blistering ball through the middle. And Hibbett, keeping his head, tucks it away neatly. Oh, a push in the back, quite positive then by Mike Lyons, number 4. And a free kick to Wolves. Hibbett's placed the ball. Not capable of driving one from there. Low, Carr, and now he'll drive it. Hibbett! Oh! What a beautiful drive. Fine free kick move. Hibbett, the short ball forward, and he just kept on going as Carr rolls it back into his path. A fierce left footer, which beat Wood and beat the far post, but not by very much. Thomas. Back for Mackenzie. Again, a good challenge by Bell, but Thomas is there now. And Pearson breaks loose. And Pearson, oh, a super save. Fine bit of opportunist football by Jim Pearson. Lovely break. Set himself for a curling, swerving shot. Well read by Bradshaw, going to his left and making a fine catch. Good challenge by Kenyon. Carr losing to Ross. And Morris Daly gets there. Steve Daly. Willie Carr. Oh, super stuff, and Hibbett! 2-0. 27 minutes into the second half. Kenny Hibbett wraps in his second goal of the game. And again, a beautiful bit of attacking football by Wolves. Steve Daly playing a prominent part in it. Driving on, confusing substitute David Jones, releasing his pass perfectly to Willie Carr. Willie Carr spotting Wood coming off his line, tried to chip him. Wood got half a touch. It's cleared out to Hibbett and he drives it into the net. Short for Daly. Steve Daly. Parkin. Steve Daly. It's Ross going with Steve Daly. Ross doing just enough to put his man off. Lyons. Well stopped by McCall. A bit in. That'll break down now for Daly. Is it number 3? Yes, it is. 3-0. Steve Daly, his 5th goal of the season. And that surely wraps it up. 33 minutes on the second half gone, and the Wolves fans rise to Steve Daly as he makes it 3-0. Again, Everton hesitant, not getting the ball away clean. And Daly going left side, kept his head as the goalkeeper came to him and drives it in for a superb 3rd goal for Wolves. Thomas's throw. It's Petchik. Petchik still in there. King. Pearson. Looks good. Penalty. Bob Hazel, the culprit. Unlucky. But the tackle had to be made. So King setting a nice through ball to Pearson. Hazel a bit stranded. A scissors tackle on Pearson. There was no hesitation by referee White. I don't think too much argument by Wolves either. Chance for Ross to score his 3rd goal since joining Everton from Arsenal. Both of them are penalties so far. Yes, 3-1. 41 minutes of the second half gone. Trevor Ross really is deadly from the penalty spot. Drove that one high to his left, and Bradshaw, well, there was no chance that he was going to save it.
3-1 to Wolves, and so Everton's title challenge begins to fade with Manchester City and Liverpool. They are now 6 points behind Nottingham Forest, and clearly Brian Clough's men are going to take an awful lot to shift them now.
Well, now for our second match, and one that affects not only the First Division Championship, but relegation as well. West Brom chasing Liverpool, of course, and Wolves, who've shown such a vast improvement recently under their new manager, John Barnwell. The match is at the Hawthorns. ATV cameras covered the game. Hugh Johns is the commentator. Wolves are in the black shorts.
That's McCall forward. And Albion are caught again as Richards gets there ahead of Robertson. Nicks it back to Rafferty. Daniel wins it. Rafferty. Cantello robbed by Hibbett. Wolves fighting and throwing themselves at everything. Throw in for Hibbett. Steve Daly. McCall. Through ball for Richards. Got there. Rafferty. And a shot from Daly. Surely no. Batson. Rafferty. West Bromwich Albion standing around there watching the game going on, and nothing's happening. John Weil having a right go. Well, it's leather flying all over the place, and the final shot from Rafferty wide. That ball dropped nicely for Regis. Has a look. So Regis is eager to get goals, but a little bit ambitious to hit them from that far out. Robson. Ali Brown down. Wasn't a very good header, didn't aim for anybody. Very uneasy clearance forward. That'll drop for Richards. John Weil will be there this time. Paul knocks that down for Clarkett. Daniel in trouble against Robson, but was being pushed, and Robson is having a go at the referee. I wonder if that will go unnoticed. Parkin with the free kick. And Hibbett drives, and he's only just wide of the left-hand post. Well, that was awfully close then for Hibbett. There was a fair bit of pushing and barging going on, and Hibbett hammers it. He'd beaten Godden all right. I don't think Godden saw it all that early. Just wide. Robertson off to Batson. On for Ali Brown. That's well, the linesman gives it one way, the referee the other, and in the meantime Regis cuts away. Good goalkeeping, but surely Ali Brown kicked out. Robson rather. Off. And the Wolves players having a go at the referee now for totally confusing them with that throw-in, which started all the troubles, which produced this situation with Regis getting to the line, and then it really all began to happen. Here was the chance for Ali Brown to bury it, just nicked away, and still Albion couldn't turn the ball back in for a punishing shot. Robson finally sticking it in the side netting. Batson, an easy head forward. McCall, an equally easy one back. Robson. Batson. It was a foul by Hibbett. Late in on Batson. So it's Weil with a kick. Regis chests it down, tries the shot. Oh! And that looked like a deflection from maybe Berry or Hibbett. Robson is getting the credit. Brian Robson's getting the credit for it. It was Regis who chests it down. See if we can see exactly here. There's Regis. There's his shot going in. Robson is to the left. Does he get a touch? Yes, he does. Straight between Bradshaw's legs. Robson, a clean goal, 1-0 Albion. Antella off the top of his head. Richards. And Weil. Oh, caught in possession. Now it's Daly. Hibbett off to his right. Daly goes on running. Uses Palmer. The cross in, headed away by Robertson. Corner right side for Wolves. Steve Daly. Swings that in. The shot from Daniel. Is Daly. Getting height. There's a lot of pushing going on. Patching. There's Richards. Patching. Hibbett. Ball breaks out for Albion, and they're on something here. Cunningham looks for Ali Brown to his right. Wasn't a good ball for him. He's run well, and he very, very nearly squeezed that pass. That was a difficult pass for Ali Brown to accept. Could have been so much better, but he fought so hard in this challenge against Parkin. His strength took him there, and that shot very nearly squeezes past the fingers of Bradshaw. Parkin then with the free kick for Wolves. Berry, Rafferty, McCall all on the far post, ready to come in. There's Berry. There's Richards. Beautiful goal. John Richards. A very similar goal to the one that Gary Birtles scored against Cologne. Well, it was the free kick in from Parkin. George Berry gets up above everybody. Nice jump. And John Richards could pick his spot as cool as you like and loop that header in. And Wolves supporters have something to cheer again. 1-1, just over 26 minutes of the second half gone.
So West Brom drop another valuable home point, and on an afternoon when Liverpool won at home as well.
Richards has got to go for this one. He's quick and he's there. And the challenge coming in, the appeals coming in too, and the referee turns it down. So Brown was beaten there for speed, but Jones came in to the rescue, and the challenge went in. But in honesty, the appeals from the Wolves players were half-hearted only. And Reeves is in there, filling that gap well, just couldn't knock it down to himself. That was great running across the face of the box, though, by Kevin Reeves. Derek Parkin, nearest to the thrower. Reeves has come to it, nip in front of him. Goebel. And a corner. Their second, conceded by Derek Parkin, who's had almost 450 league games for him now. And he must know that they're going to hit it towards this near post with the big fellas behind. Reeves and Bond on the near post. Bond gets up there. There goes Bradshaw, and it'll come out to Padden again. Now they've got one more chance with Bradshaw getting back into the goal area. Fashanu can't get there. Norcombe Peters leaning over a defender and wasn't able to get on top of it. Well, I think perhaps the understanding wasn't quite as perfect as it might have been when Padden had a chance to get this kick over. Fashanu comes to it and makes it difficult perhaps for Peters, but the defender made it even more difficult. Jones with Gray, and Richards is onto this one. And down goes Richards again. This time it is a penalty. Well, the second time John Richards has fallen in the penalty area, and this time the referee waits, considers it, then points to the spot. First time it was Jones who brought him down. This time it's Roger Brown. Well, he looks as if he had the man first, and the referee, after a moment's doubt and hesitation, pointed to the spot. So Roger Hansbury tested against Hibbett. Comfortably in. Kenny Hibbett gives Wolves a lead. Well, and a highly experienced player from the penalty spot. No sweat here as he tucks it inside Hansbury's right-hand post, and he guessed the line. Richards now with Gray alongside him. Pushed wide by Brown. Here's Hibbett. Gray's gone down the middle. Richards wide on the other side. And it's Reeves defending well there. Fantastic amount of ground he's covering. Palmer's cross. Gray's up there. And a free kick given against Andy Gray. Certainly an aggressive competitor there in the penalty area.
Separated from his father.
Daniel battling his way through. And Richards has passed Jones and fouled by him, but the play is allowed to go on. He pulls his shorts up and sets it up here for Hansbury to save from Mellies. Well, that was an interesting shot. I've never seen anybody pulling their shorts up while in possession before. But they can't get the ball clear. And Richards is away. His shorts are on the way down. He pulls them up, then sets up Eaves, but his shot wasn't quite good enough. Carr. Parking the fullback there. Dangerous cross over Gray's head, but Richards can still have it. Quickly onto that one. And now Daniel didn't hit it right at all, but still they can't get it clear. And a chance now for Mellies. How did that fall to a Wolves player? Well, somehow Norwich City seem to have kept this disease of theirs going of making crucial mistakes against Wolves in vital areas. Richards picks that one up. Daniel, a bad shot, but they just can't get it clear until Eaves has the perfect chance to make it 2-0. So before we restart the second half, let's go to John Bond. John, dare I ask you what you said at half-time to them?
No, you daren't, Jerry. Totally disgusted with them all. They picked me up to the heights against Liverpool and dropped me to the depths against Wolves today. I can't believe them. I am totally disenchanted and disgusted with most of them. I mean, there's one or two who are doing a bit. I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, Mike, the way maybe they did against Liverpool, but in fairness, you need a little bit of help in this game as a manager, and I ain't getting an ounce of it.
Here's Hibbett, and here's Richards.
That's three.
Richards has popped it in for the third, I'm afraid, John. Which I suppose just emphasises the point you're making, that everything is going their way at the moment. Let's just have a look at this one again. Poor old Roger Hansbury had no chance here as they broke immediately through from the kickoff. Pulled back here by Hibbett. Richards is coming onto it, and he doesn't miss from this sort of distance, and that's 3-0. That was meant to go down for Graham Patton, and it wasn't good. Now Daniel firing his way forward, and Daniel is through, and Jones is fouling and bringing him down, and it's another penalty. Well, Jones certainly fouled him. I thought the foul started outside the area, but what a marvellous run by Peter Daniel. And another penalty, and they're already leading 3-0. There's certainly the foul as it started before the penalty area, and down he comes. And the referee says, on the spot. And Hibbett again, Hansbury again. Well, last time it was to Hansbury's right. Exactly the same spot. 4-0. Kenny Hibbett is second. And we've had only 3 minutes of this second half. Hibbett, well, same place as before. Hansbury had a go, perfectly struck though.
Good evening, and tonight we have the most sensational action of the season with 3 games that are quite breathtaking. Our main match is Spurs against Wolves with so much goal-mouth action.
Cross in there, then beat them all, will it beat Crooks? Oh, just across the face of that Wolves goal.
Now let's get straight into the action as we come to Spurs against Wolves. Spurs on cloud 9 after that League Cup victory over Arsenal last Tuesday. Wolves with a much weakened side through suspension and injury. But together, they produce an enthralling match for the crowd on a day when they're thinking very much of the future at White Hart Lane.
They're changing the face of Tottenham. This famous old stand will be knocked down after Wednesday night's game against Crystal Palace, so this is the last time you'll see it looking this way, with its season ticket holders, its director's box, its press box and dressing rooms, and in its place by the end of next year they'll have built a £3 million replacement. No replacements needed in the Tottenham team today, though. It's the one that beat Arsenal 1-0 in the Football League Cup last Tuesday with a goal by Osvaldo Ardiles. But there's no doubt who's made most impact lately with his goal-scoring efforts. It's the Scotsman Steve Archibald, who is the top scorer at Tottenham this season with 9, including 4 in the last 3 games. Goal-scoring has been something of a problem for Wolves. They've scored only 16 in 18 games this season, and with Andy Gray still missing, they might have a problem again today. They're also without defenders Jeff Palmer, suspended, and Derek Parkin, a broken toe. Emlyn Hughes is out. Willie Carr is the sub. But at least all this gives a first chance for 19-year-old defender Mick Holyfield, who joined the club 3 years ago and has been playing well in the reserves. And here's Rafael Villazan. He's from Uruguay, and with Ardiles and Villa of Argentina also on the field, well, at least he should feel pretty much at home today. Miller, the long ball forward. This time Crooks is onside. Hoddle's up there with him, and here's Crooks. This could be danger for Wolves. And a penalty given. Crooks brought down, and a penalty given. And I must say that Mike Taylor had not the slightest hesitation. Here he goes through now. And indeed a penalty quite justifiably given there. It was the Uruguayan Villazan who brought Crooks down. And a chance for Hoddle to give Tottenham a lead as we come towards the quarter hour. 1-0. Glenn Hoddle's 8th of the season, sending Bradshaw the wrong way. Now Crooks. Ooh, a bit of space here away on the left, and Tottenham men are filling it well as Villa sends the fullback Houghton on his way. The cross coming in, and what a beauty there! Oh, and he put it wide, Archibald. What a goal that would have been! A tremendous break. And it was Villa and Houghton. There's Villa's pass there to Houghton. What a ball played in there by Chris Houghton. And Archibald made a connection. Bradshaw put him off enough, and it went wide. And the linesman flagging. A free kick to Wolves. Holyfield with it. Played in lower there towards Eaves. Can he get round Smith? No, he can't, but he gets a corner. So we're halfway through the first half. Wolves get a corner, a goal down. Hoddle's penalty after 13. Daniel's taking it, but big Colin Brazier, 6'1.5" of him, standing there at the near post. Might well be the main that he aims for. Indeed it was, for the little flick back, but Lacey was there. Knocked back in there, goal! Atkinson for Wolverhampton Wanderers, which silences the Tottenham crowd, and all beginning with that corner, in fact, flicked on and then knocked out, and Atkinson turning it back in to make it 1-1. Hoddle onside. A good decision by the linesman. Crooks well onside. Ardil is up supporting him. Crooks! What an amazing goal, because he ran half the length of the field before he beat Bradshaw. And Bradshaw must have wondered whether the pass inside was coming in for Ardiles, who'd made ground, and Archibald had made ground. It's Hoddle who gets Crooks on his way. As you can see, no more than 2 or 3 yards inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. And there's just that little bit of a gap there. Oh, and he puts it under the man. Here's Houghton ducking in with a header. Here's Velia. Perryman. Played now for Ardiles. Smith. Vilazan getting it to Holyfield. Lacey turning it back again. Here's Daniel with a little touch there. Oh, and this kick. Crooks. And a save by Brazier. Oh, that was Atkinson's miss kick that very nearly allowed Garth Crooks in, and would have done but for a good save here by Paul Bradshaw. Lacey. Crooks. 10 minutes of the first half remaining. And a slip there by Mick Holyfield, which was unfortunate for him because the ball goes straight to Crooks. Terrific save by Bradshaw from Garth Crooks, who's really in the mood like the rest of the Tottenham side today. After Holyfield has slipped and given possession to Garth Crooks, let's look at this. And a lovely piece of keeping by Paul Bradshaw. So Spurs corner. Really on the rampage, Tottenham, but still only leading by 2-1. Here's Hoddle. Cross in there. Then beat them all. Will it beat Crooks? Oh, just across the face of that Wolves goal. And there were 4 Wolves defenders right on the line as that skidded from Garth Crooks, who's dynamite at the moment. Let's look at this again as Crooks. And just look at the Wolves players along that line, and it somehow stayed out. Richards from Hibbett. Clark. Oh, he's found Eaves. Good shot. And can somebody there finish it off? No, they can't for Wolves, and as well for Spurs that Chris Houghton was there. Eaves holding his head because that certainly looked an equaliser. Danes couldn't hold it, and Houghton whacked it away as 2 Wolves players came in. Daniel coming in there. Here's a chance maybe for Eaves again. Well, it wanted a little more curl on it, but that's twice now in the space of a little over a minute that Eaves has suddenly found himself with a bit of space there. It's Carr again for Wolves. Humphrey. Oh, and Humphrey losing out to Ricky Velia. Crooks is up there with him. Archibald's making ground as well. Velia going all the way. Oh! It was pushed behind by Kenny Hibbett, who somehow got back there with the goalkeeper beaten by Velia's run and shot. Corner already taken and over the top. Well, they took that corner pretty quickly. But we ought to look again at Villiers' run here. Taking them on, and then deciding he'll get the shot in. It's just, look, Kenny Hibbett just turned it away for the corner. Oh, did well there, Humphrey. Under pressure from Crooks, turned it here and found Daniel. The long ball here. And it could be a chance now for Richards. And he's made it 2-2. Oh, what an amazing sequence of events there. Wolves, having sorted themselves out at half-time, looked a much better bet in the second half so far. And when in the first half it looked as though they were totally out of it, now suddenly they pulled it back to 2-2, which was the score here last year. Lacey couldn't quite reach this one, and it gave Richards that chance as Danes came out, and the ball just crossing the line there before John Lacey could get to it. But equally it's true that with this man Kenny Hibbett, and he's played it back there for Crooks. And here's Archibald over the top. Well, I was about to say how much more formidable Wolves had looked in the back four since Hibbett had gone in there, and then he goes and does this. A ball played far too short there for Bradshaw. Crooks quite didn't get the touch to it, and Archibald, when he could, well, it was too firm a touch and was way over. Perryman, Ardiles. You still get the impression that this is a game that Spurs could win, but also that it might be a bit difficult than it was in the first half. Header, just wide. Nicked off the post, in fact. Ardiles holding off his man there. The flick to Hoddle, bringing it on to the left foot here. And I think it may just have clipped off the post.
And I suppose that Spurs might well regard that as a point tossed away after they had dominated the first half to an almost embarrassing degree. But as the Wolves manager John Barnwell said afterwards, we were in the grave at half-time, so I was thrilled by our second-half comeback after we'd given away 2 bad goals. And he blamed Rafael Villazan for giving away the penalty, a typical South American tackle, he called it.
Richards, the number 9, enjoying his testimonial season. He'll move on, I imagine, at the end of this season. Hibbett with the free kick. And Gray is there, and Gray has scored, and it's all right. It's 1-0. How about that? Oh, Andy Gray, that's the first time he's touched the ball. What a substitution Ian Greaves has pulled here. 18 minutes. The free kick, nobody picked up Andy Gray, and Shilton has no chance. Look at that for a goal. 1-0 Wolves. That only the 4th goal of the season for Andy Gray. Well, we were joshing him beforehand that he was the substitute, that he might come on and get a hat-trick. Well, there's the first third of it.
Ian, was that unexpected?
Well, no, because, like I said last week, unless you get results, then there's not much use talking. But West Ham was so near to a result, even though it was 3-1. And obviously within 10 seconds of a result against Arsenal. And it's demoralising when you lose in the last 10 seconds. And when that one hit the bar today, oh my God, my hair went grey still, didn't it? But no, it's not. It's not undeserved. We're expecting to do things now. There's no doubt about that. There's a new feeling in the camp completely, and we really are expecting to do things. We could have had this week 7 points instead of the 3 that we've got, the 4 that we've got. But that's how it goes. And what you've got to do is keep battling away, and they are battling at the moment. There's no one in the team now well, they all know the situation. They've got to give every last drop of blood, and I'm getting it, and that suits me fine.
The thing is, though, you might run out of matches. You've played more matches than anybody else.
Of course, and this is the
left.
danger. Yeah, this is the danger. But we can run out of matches if we don't score, if we don't win them. We can win we've got to think about winning the last 7. We've got to think in those terms. We take it 1 for 1. We've won today, that's lovely. We've got to win on Monday. We know that. That's not to put pressure on the players. I mean, it's a simple fact. We've got to win, haven't we?
You're not going to take credit for a great tactical substitution by the manager.
I've just been told. The lads have just told me there. I went in the bath and I said, well, you can only have 1 pint tonight because we've got a game Monday. And actually, it cost me a tenner when we scored a set piece, which it was. And I've just said to that grey fella, I said, I tell you what, you're a lucky fella. He's only scored 5 this season, and I mean, that one's on the box, isn't it? Lucky fella. And they reckon that's the only good thing I've done since I came here, that tactical substitution today.
And now we move into the 2nd division for our second game, and it's Wolves up amongst the leaders against Derby County. You've got plenty of problems at the other end of the table. The cameras of Central Television were at Molineux today. The commentators, Peter Brackley. Wolves are in the gold shirts.
Butler, faced by Brolly, and then to Palmer. Headed out to Matthews, tries the shot, and what a good save too by Steve Cherry. Gloriously driven shot from Mick Matthews. And Steve Cherry just driving it, pushing it over the top. There's Palmer with the cross in. Ball headed out. Matthews sizing up the situation ahead of him. Did well to get in the shot at all. And there's Cherry leaping to deflect the shot. Oh, mistake by McCall. Setting Eaves free. Hibbett forward too. Still Eaves ploughing his way into the area. Has he taken it too far? The referee has given a penalty. A tackle by Foster. He may well have handled it as he went in. Let's just watch the replay here. Originally, the mistake by McCall. Eaves setting off the goal. Foster going with him. Foster sliding in, and it certainly appears there, at least, to have struck his arm. And Jeff Palmer, their regular penalty taker, take the kick. Palmer against Cherry. 1-0. Well, George Foster there just whacking the ball into the net in disgust. He may well feel that the ball struck him on the arm, that he couldn't avoid it. There's the penalty. Well hit by Jeff Palmer just a couple of minutes from half-time. Gray back then to Hibbett. Clark's in the area, so is Matthews arriving, away by Skivington. Hill's lost it to Palmer. No shot of space for Hibbett on the far side. What a good run by Hibbett, and then for Gray. Marvellous header by Andy Gray, so strong in the air. Diving forward to hit the ball just over the bar. A courageous header by Andy Gray. Ball played in first time by Kenny Hibbett. He spotted Gray coming in, launched himself in the air and over the bar. Hill drifting infield, then to McCall. Didn't find his man, away comes Matthews. Derby will be stretched here. This is Eaves. Gray and Butler in the area. Matthews is there too. In goes Gray! Brilliant goal by Andy Gray. Manager Graham Hawkins leaping off the bench. Well, we were talking about typical Andy Gray headers. That surely was another one. This man is so powerful in the air. Eaves with the donkey work. Weaving his way into the area. Gray on the end of it. A glorious header, well beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. And a good layoff from Wilson. This is McCall coming forward. And away now then goes Wilson. Could be a chance here. And he takes it superbly. 15 minutes into the second half. And Kevin Wilson, he's had a good match today for Derby, showing his sharpness again up front. With his 3rd goal of the season, breaking clear. McCall knocking the ball into the path of Hill. was knocked on rather fortunately there too, Wilson. He looked up, sized it well, and into the corner.
And that Wolves penalty apparently given for handball. But 2-1 then to Wolves.